Okay guys, bear with me for a second. We're going to be working on BRZ first. What we have going on is, as you guys know, this thing needs a head gasket bad. I bought everything, it is ready to go. The only issue is we're going to be diving into the alignment part of this. So if you guys know, we haven't exactly mastered the alignment. A lot of this is just kind of guesstimating. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a better touch up, and hopefully the alignment feels better than it does now. Just little touch-ups will get us drifting, hopefully correctly. First thing I'm noticing is these wheels, as you can tell, like I gotta really grab on them in order to turn them. So most likely something needs lubricating, or it's over tightened, or something along those lines. So I'm going to double check why it's such a heavy feel. Ideally you want a light feeling of steering wheel so that the car transitions better and everything. Another thing I'm going to do, if you guys notice, on full lock we are far from this support beam, but whenever it is turning the opposite way, it touches right over here. I'm going to try and move that over, but yeah, this thing is like too heavy. You guys can see it's rubbing, and I already cut some of this off, so I think we're gonna move the wheels back a touch. One of the biggest things that is keeping this forward and not backwards is this arm here. So this arm, if I loosen it and twist it on this end here, it'll actually shove this whole thing back, and maybe that'll be less restrictive on the actual turning. Penetrating lube is going to be everywhere, even on me, by the time I'm done here. Probably does us good that we're doing this. That way we can go through every bolt, and Mr. Tyler over there can stop talking crap. Because one day they came over and they found the same bolt loose twice, but the car hasn't even been on the track, so it's like it matters. I want to get these two things matching, so I'm going to hop on the other side and do exactly what I just did to this side on that side. Okay. Yeah, so from the get-go, I guess I didn't really match these up. I can tell this one has less rotation than the other side did, so it's probably good that we're going over this, because at this point, it looks like they weren't even. From here, it looks centered. I'm gonna turn this and hope for the best. Okay, clears it. You guys can see. No more rubbing here. At least not when the suspension is all the way down. Who knows? Once I drop the car and it sits a little bit higher, it may rub here. Now, the back. Full lock. No rubbing on full lock, so that's always good. I think the sway bar is the one that is not happy with the... So look at this. It tends to move a lot more than I think it should. Now that I move the wheel farther back, you guys can see the wheel is straight, and we have tons of angle going inside in the front. So instead of being like this, it is like this, or instead of like this, it is too far this way. So we're going to try and push the front of the wheel out so we can get it as straight as we can. And then this could be for this instead of the sway bar. Whoa, mind blown. I don't know how I didn't see that. We may be losing a sway bar soon. What is up, you guys? We are pretty much done with the drywall on the roof. 70% of it is done. Let me show you guys. So the biggest issue we have now is that these lights, obviously you won't be able to tell because of the glare that each one has, and these little cutouts. So the hardest part to me is these larger pieces, because these larger pieces require 2 men, and these little cutouts I can do them all by myself. So the biggest issue we had was right here where this lift is. So the lift has a little cutout so that it all fits, and so this needed some special cuts, which we kind of messed up over here and over here, and now we're gonna have to like do another piece right there all together and then box it in here on the sides. Long story short, it's getting there, but we're not going to be finishing that today. For the most part, you guys can see all the way down, and then we left a little opening here for like the attic space, so if we can go up there and store some things. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's coming along. We were installing these lights back in on this side because they had to be moved or taken out so that we can put this wall up, or the drywall. And now these, we just need to bolt them back in and have them less hanging. Okay guys, I'm back. Actually, my wife ended up tripping, falling on the concrete, and yeah, she got a little bit of a messy situation on her knee. She's okay though. So now that we have the lights on, literally she got me right when I was finishing up the lights. I'm excited for this next part. I've been waiting for this for a while. If you are a regular watcher, not so regular as I don't upload, but like maybe once a week, you'll know that this is a issue. So yeah, check this out. I think y'all are gonna like it. I'm excited for this. It's something really simple. It's a shop update, but I love it. So what we have going on is we are going to finally finish the welding table. If you guys remember, we bought the welding table a while back, and it was literally just a slab, like the top slab that you see here. So yeah, whenever we got it in, it literally was just this top slab here, and it needs to obviously be finished. We actually had it sitting on top of this here. Yeah, this is not good. This is literally just a rack for the containers. And the biggest thing of all is we are going to be applying a special product on it so that it avoids rusting. You guys remember that is a big issue. I did a little bit of cleaning on it actually before I flipped it over. I figured you guys have seen enough grinding on this channel on that on that table, hopefully avoiding any further rust issues with the welding table. I put it on the lift so that it's easier to move after it's all said and done. We will be adding a few of these wheels. Each of these wheels are rated at 350 pounds, so technically this whole table should be able to do about 1,400 pounds, including the weight of the table. We got an 1/8 inch by 2 inches on each side by 6 feet tall. So this thing is about 6 foot tall. What we're going to be doing is this whole thing we're going to be cutting in half, literally in half. It should be right at around 3 feet, and then that would give us our table height exactly like that table, and we could even possibly put it beside it so it kind of act as a large extension to that table. Maybe a little bit easier for that, and with the wheels we'll be able to put it anywhere we want, which is good. They have this little coating obviously from factory, which is also why my hands got so dirty. Cleaned them up, not the best, but you know how it is. So now what we're going to be doing is cutting these in half. And before I forget, I was about to cut the steel and then I saw that my tables were busy. And let me show you guys why. I won't be able to cut them on the table itself. So we have our BRZ motor taken apart. The heads are off. You guys can tell these are looking a little rough. So we're going to get it taken to check if it needs to be resurfaced. If it does, then we will be doing that, getting it fixed. The poor thing is outside without a heart, on open heart surgery essentially. Sitting over there, nice and pretty. That is exactly what I was afraid of. So the bottom, dead even. Check that out. It is off. So yeah, whenever you do decide to do this at home, remember, metal is never exactly right. Plus, you got to take into account the blade width. Clamp them together on a really flat surface, shade both sides, make sure it's within millimeters just to be safe, but it's pretty much there. And actually, I'm gonna pick this back up tomorrow. For you guys, it'll be 2 seconds. For me, it'll be tomorrow. We got a bit of a candlelight concert thing, I'm not sure, but she seems to be very excited, and especially after bruising her knee, we're gonna give her that. So I'm gonna go wash up, and I'll see you guys in a second. Yeah, so full disclaimer, I just went to the gym, came back, and I've been hitting it pretty hard lately, so my apologies if these things are too in your face. It is what it is. Well, I guess I could buy a bigger shirt as well, but... So the first thing we did to this thing, made sure it was level, if you guys can tell. And that is across and also from side to side, it is level. Now with us being sure it is 100% level, we will get to mounting the legs. We'll be doing one at a time and making sure that I clamp it down. And then I'm going to tack weld it, make sure it's in place, and then I'm going to be doing some measurements from side to side, make sure that it's not off for some reason. Times like this, I miss the welding table so I could clamp things down. This, I could, but it's still not strong. It's very flimsy. So we're just gonna have to be careful. So there it is clamped, and it looks even, it looks straight, but just to verify, I went to go get my other half. You guys can tell what happened here. So I need to buy a new one. We'll do that later. Measure it out, and it's our best course of action is going to be spot welding this little corner so that we can move it around. Before I forget, this is what we will be using. So before we do any welding, we're gonna have to take this back off So we're going to spray it on here and in here so that we can prevent any humidity that gets in there to make it rust. I have not tried this stuff, so I don't know how good it is. This is kind of a test, and it kind of sucks that we're going to be testing it out on this because it's a pretty important and expensive piece. About 15-20 minutes have gone by. It is fully dried. Now we will set it in this little corner. Bubble here in the middle and bubble in the middle there. Now that you tack the outsides, now that you tack the inside, tack the outside so it doesn't move. Ah, got you. Look at that thing. He's been eating me alive. So now that we have our tacks here and here, we're going to clean this up, weld it up on this side, and on the inside corners. You want to triple check it. Make sure it's right where you want it. This stuff, once it's there, it's there. It's not going to move, so that's the good thing about it. For now, we're going to knock out the other 3, and we will catch back up once we have gotten that far. I'm pretty sure this side, which is ironically the last side, has the best welds. I think it's just about, you know, one of those things that you got to practice. But check this out. I mean, yeah, it could be better. But compared to the other side, I think they're on point. So now we have 4 perfectly even legs. Now, I was going to brace them up, but I think the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put on the wheels. We could do this plenty of ways, but the way we're going to do it is we're going to cut out a piece of metal, like a square flat bar metal, weld it onto that, and then this will be able to be bolted on or welded to the actual angle iron itself. So as much as I want to brace it up right now, I don't think it's the smartest thing to do. Yeah, so we're gonna shift our focus to the wheels, and then after that flip it over, and if it needs that bracing once it's flat on the floor, certain legs can be like pulled together and then welded. Not ideal, but I'm not 100% sure that the bracing of the table is like perfect, if that makes sense. Okay, so we have our rough cut out. It's still hot. That's why I'm not letting myself. But we're gonna make sure we have that width. And then yes, we have just enough on all 4 corners to make a nice little bead. Most people would bolt this on, and it's probably the best way to do it, but I'm gonna weld it on. It's stronger, and if anything, I could just cut off this whole plate and just re-weld another plate. I'm not worried about that. Plus, the height of the table is not 100% secure yet. I'm thinking this is the right height, but we're still not sure. So this one we set to the side and we cut 3 more pieces the same as this one. Go. It took long enough, but we have 4 identical pieces. Let me show you guys what the idea was. So the idea was, now that you can see better, or that I can show you better, to have a little gap all the way around for a nice edge of welding. Now the thing is, you don't want to overheat this because the bearings inside here, they have grease, and if you do, trust me, I've done it before, you will catch this thing on fire in a second. So you're gonna have to tack one here and then kind of work your way around, let it cool down, and then come back to it. You guys can tell the biggest issue we've had with this table is the rust. Like this, I have not cleaned, but the rest of the table I cleaned up already a little bit. And this was right over there, not even being rained on. It was right there, out of the elements, but from the humidity that comes in here, from there, from the doors, from everywhere, it starts to rust very fast. So that is why we are going to be using the Steal-It to hopefully avoid from this happening. The table is finally done. You guys can see, painted it up and it looks pretty good. We did the top, the legs, and the bottom. Oh, wait, what is that?
I'm black.
No, it's staying in there. So the table is pretty much done. I did notice whenever we started rolling it around, the legs start to shake a little bit. We're probably gonna go back and fix that. for now, we're gonna leave it because we have something in the works, I guess. But yeah, for now, the table will do. It's a little tall. I guess I'm just gonna have to weld standing. I didn't think that through very well whenever I put the legs on it, but I guess I can save some money and not buy a chair and just stand. So that is all for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Adrian, this guy is tall. Can you guys
not to be?
Can you?
That is the question.
To be or not to be?
That's it.
Can you believe this guy is my brother?
You just got bad genes. You just turned out short.
I don't wear jeans, Adrian. That is all for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. The next video is going to be pretty exciting. We're actually going to jump into it right now. Adrian, without saying what the next video is, just don't give it away.
It's a little bit off the top.
A little bit off the top?
A little bit off the top.
Off the top?
Off the top. Just like imagine if you were getting a haircut. But car related.
What?
I said but car related.
Oh God. I think you may have told him too much, but yeah. So we'll leave it at that. Stay tuned. So if you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. Hit the post notifications and so you can stay up to date because we don't upload 10,000 times a day. So thank you guys for watching and we'll see you guys on the next one.